Good old people, we are Tottenham TV. International break all said and done now. Now we can focus, well, I say we can focus on Tottenham, but it's still a while till we play. I think 12 days since Spurs' next play. Obviously, FA Cup this weekend. And then it is that trip to Sunderland away. Roberto De Zerbi's first game in charge. We have got an action-packed stream for you guys today. But let's round off the Spurs international break and see how our players did get on over the last week or so. And we're going to start off with Austria and with Kevin Danso. First game, Austria won 5-1 against Ghana. It's a bit of a Kevin Danso derby because he is Ghanaian and Austrian all at the same time. He did start the game and he played just the first half, to be honest. Didn't play after that. And then the second game, they played South Korea. He didn't get on the pitch, but we were watching the game last night. I think South Korea were probably the better of the two teams, but it was nice to see him and Sonny linking up together. You know, there was all those pictures doing the rounds, as we're going to bring on screen in a second. Whenever Sonny sees a Spurs player, it just fills your heart.
100%. He's always got such close relationships with all the players he's ever played with. You can see immediately connection, reuniting that friendship. Nice to see, and also good he didn't get too overplayed, albeit remains to be seen whether he's going to be a De Zerbi kind of player or not, whether De Zerbi will bring that back three and Danso will get the nod, or whether he's going to be out of the picture. It's going to be interesting, but yeah, I'm glad he came through the international break unscathed.
Yeah, absolutely. So only 45 minutes and gets a nice rest now, and obviously all Spurs players do until the next game. Next up is the Netherlands. They had a double header, one against Norway, one against Ecuador. So in the first game, they beat Norway 2-1. Van der Ven playing 90 minutes at left back. Xavi, an unused sub. In the second game, they drew 1-1 with Ecuador. Xavi getting 77 minutes in the number 10, and Van der Ven getting a complete rest in that game. So nice that one of them played in either game, but one of them got a rest in both games as well.
Yeah, it seems in this international break, it's been very much an opportunity for managers to be experimental. So I don't think in many games any player played like 90 minutes in both. I saw it in the goal that the Netherlands scored, the first goal. Xavi was heavily involved in the build-up to the goal. Brilliant. I think he played a really nice ball out wide to Gakpo, who put the ball across the face and it caused an own goal. And he seemed to have a pretty decent game by the numbers.
Yeah, 1 out of 2 successful take-ons, 1 long ball, 2 passes into the final third, 3 tackles, 1 clearance, 3 ball recoveries, and 6 out of 8 ground duels as well for Xavi Simons. So nice to see him actually step up a little bit for the Netherlands, because I think his last couple of performances, he's been very much in and out the team and not put in the greatest displays. So good to see him back in his natural position and actually performing.
Definitely, and I believe under De Zerbi he'll be playing in that number 10 role. I don't think he'll be out wide. Well, look, you never know, but that's what I think. That's what I think the idea will be. So I'm really looking forward to the evolution of Xavi in these last 7 games.
Yeah. Moving on to England, not the greatest international break for England. Drew 1-1 with Uruguay at Wembley. Spence and Solanke both starting the game. 70 minutes for Spence, 55 minutes for Solanke. And then they'd lost 1-0 to Japan at Wembley. First time England have ever lost to an Asian team, which is mad to think about. And both players didn't start, but Solanke came on for the last half an hour, but clearly didn't make too much of an impact.
Yeah, we were watching bits of that game, and Japan seemed to be the ones making all the running throughout that game, didn't they? Which was quite surprising. I think they have such actually really good level technical players, the Japanese, and you could see the little short interchanges, the sprint into the space. England really struggled to handle it, and that's got to be a bit of a worry ahead of the World Cup, albeit I remember just before the Euros when we made the final, I think we lost 4-0 to Hungary, not long before that. So you got to sometimes take things with a pinch of salt. Tuchel, obviously in this specific one, he was definitely being quite experimental with his lineup. So I don't think you can learn too much from the result, but I think the performance has got to be a bit of a concern ahead of what is a very big tournament for England. In terms of Solanke, didn't really impress, it seemed, in the half an hour he played. Some people say Danny Welbeck's chances increased having not even got called up, given the displays of our strikers. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Do you think he's definitely going to go, Solanke?
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. I think he's got to have a strong end to the season, in my opinion. I think there are strikers there that could easily take his spot. You know, Solanke has had a very stop-start season, hasn't he? So I think that, you know, Watkins is there. Obviously, Harry Kane is there. Calvert-Lewin, I don't think did himself any favours in the first game against Uruguay. Like you mentioned, Danny Welbeck. Look, there are players.
Watkins wasn't called up, was he?
No. I feel like these high-profile players that weren't called up, they weren't called up because probably Tuchel knows they're going to be on the plane.
They're going to be on the plane? I thought, well, like who?
Like Watkins, like Trent, like whoever it may be. You think the opposite? I don't think so. I think Watkins for sure is going.
I think he's because he knows they're not going to be on the plane.
What, you think he would rather take Calvert-Lewin, Solanke over Watkins?
I think he's testing them out because I think he's not going to take Watkins.
No, I think he's for sure taking Watkins.
I don't know.
I think when you're looking at Watkins against Solanke, Watkins has clearly had a better season than Solanke.
You say that. He has not been great this season, Watkins.
Well, he's been better than Solanke, though.
I mean, since Solanke's come back, he's been quite good.
He's had a couple of good games, but...
He's been scoring, hasn't he? Like 4 or 5 goals?
Yeah, but obviously Watkins had a period during the season as well where he looked really good. So I think that I think Watkins definitely going to be going. I really do.
I think it's not certain. I think it's not certain at all.
We'll see. But like you said, it was a very experimental squad. So you're saying like Trent wasn't called up. You think Trent's not going to go?
Yeah.
I think he will go. I think these players will go.
I think he's not going to go.
Why not?
Because I think he believes he's got better options, and Trent doesn't really fit what he wants to do. Which I think is wrong, but I think Trent's not going.
I think both Trent and
Trent's
Watkins
had horrible. He's not had a good season, Trent.
Yeah, I know, but I still think they're going to go. I really do. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think Trent and Watkins are actually going to miss out on the England squad? I really can't believe it if they are. Anyway, next up is Spain. Spain beat Serbia 3-0 in the first game. Pedro Porro getting a complete rest in that game and playing 90 minutes in a 0-0 draw against Egypt. Apparently got man of the match in that game as well against Egypt, keeping a clean sheet. So yeah, good to see him back on form.
Yeah, for sure. Great that he had a good game. And I think another one who I think should benefit from the change of manager as well. And good to see him getting man of the match. And he regularly has very impressive performances for Spain. He's regularly one of their better players. Yeah,
90 minutes played, 2 shots, 3 chances created, 1 dribble, 12 passes into the final third. 12 passes into the final third. 6 tackles, 5 ball recoveries, 10 out of 15 duels won. Not dribbled past once, and 8.3 rating, which I think is on SofaScore. So a man of the match display from Pedro Porro. So big up to Pedro. That's what we love to see. All right, next up, we're going to look at Argentina. They beat Mauritania 2-1. Romero captaining the side, playing 90 minutes, and they beat Zambia 5-0 with Romero playing 90 minutes, but not captain this time as Messi was in the lineup for that game. But yeah, it's an interesting one because I've seen that apparently there's been a lot of backlash over these 2 games for Argentina because the squad feel like they should be playing much higher opposition or much more competitive games in the build-up to the World Cup, and they've been playing Mauritania and Zambia, so I can kind of get where they're coming from.
100%. And I think especially coming into this as holders, you've got to keep yourself on your toes, don't you? You can't... I think we've seen there's a bit of a curse at the World Cup where... I guess it didn't happen with France, but with previous winners, the next World Cup, they either like go out early in the group stages or don't have a great tournament. And sometimes, you know, once you get over that hurdle of winning, it's hard to like keep that hunger that you had before winning your first one. So I think challenging yourself against better opposition is a really good way to guard against that. So I understand the frustration, to be honest.
And like Romero was responding to those kind of criticisms after the game, and he says, nah, they're all matches. Sometimes they turn out like that, especially the friendlies. We know what we are. There are 2 months left until the World Cup, and we're going to give it our all. We're going to come back and leave a good impression. So, I mean, obviously they go into the tournament as holders and as probably the favourites, one of the favourites at least.
Yeah, I don't know about the favourites. Maybe they're definitely up there. Sure, they can't. They're going to do it again. It'd be amazing if they did.
Well, everyone banging on last World Cup 4 years ago about Messi's last World Cup,
Yeah.
and it looks like he's going to this World Cup.
And I think I mean, I watch him play. I still think he's one of the best players in the world, even now, even at 30. Yeah, I think he could still play for Barcelona if he wanted to. So I wouldn't rule out him having another great tournament.
Yeah, agreed. Against Zambia, he got a foot mob braving at 8.2, 107 touches, 96 out of 97 accurate passes, 7 recoveries, 6 out of 6 ground duels, 6 tackles, 2 out of 3 accurate long balls, 2 clearances, 2 headed clearances, 2 passes into the final third, 1 out of 2 aerial duels, 1 and 1 interception. Sakuti went out to Argentina national duty, meaning business. Senegal beat Peru 2-0. Sarr came on for the final 10 minutes. However, he did miss the last game through injury, which is not great.
Yeah.
We don't know the extent of the injury or anything like that, but at this point, all we know is that he missed Senegal's final game through injury.
But it was a shoulder injury, I think they said.
Yeah.
Let's just hope it's nothing too serious. It was always going to be a tall order for Tottenham to come through this international break unscathed, and it seems as though we've got one little casualty. Let's just hope that it's not. It's only a simple one. Let's hope it's not a bad one.
France beat Colombia 3-1. Randall Kolo Muani playing the last half an hour of that game. No goal contributions for him, but it must be unbelievable for him. How is he in that French squad and getting minutes as well?
Deschamps loves him. He was part of the last World Cup squad. He regularly actually made an impact, albeit he'll be remembered for that last minute miss in the final. But he's someone that Deschamps really trusts, and it looks like he's probably going to be on that plane by the looks of things. Because sometimes international managers have those players they trust, even if they're not doing it totally at club level. If they are fit and available, they all pick them.
Yeah. And one of the games of the international break was Sweden 3, Poland 2, which sent Sweden and Bergvall and Dejan Kulusevski to the World Cup. Bergvall came on in the last 20 minutes, and the celebrations at this end of the game were a joy to behold. Bergvall right in the thick of the action of it all. Look at this. He was on the microphone guiding the fans. It was really great to see, to be honest. So I'm going to love seeing Bergvall at the World Cup, to be fair.
Definitely. And I watched some of the individual highlights of his last 20 minutes cameo, and he seemed to really impact the game positively and really change the game. So that's really great to see. And he was very involved in the winning goal as well. His shot was saved by the Polish keeper, which rebounded to another Swedish player. He hit the post and Gyökeres scored, but it all started with a really good effort from Bergvall. And he also came on and put on some really big challenges and got the crowd going. And it looks like he was a big part of dragging them to victory and to the World Cup. And I think that his excitement at the end of the game, obviously he's a young player going to his first World Cup, but I think his part to play in the win, I think, even though it was only a 20-minute cameo, got the blood pumping, I think. And great to see him in that kind of form with our running coming as well.
Yeah. If you go to the video underneath this is his post-match interview. Look how excited he is. It's just so nice to see.
Go to the beginning.
He's just grabbing the microphone and screaming down it. He's absolutely jubilant.
Fantastic.
Which he thoroughly deserves. And there's a picture of Decky as well. Looked like he had a tear in his eye watching the game on the sidelines with his teammates as well.
Let's hope he makes it. He's fit enough as well. Yeah, great for him. It would be a brilliant end to this whole saga if he could make the World Cup.
Yeah.
His whole injury, year, coming up on the year at the moment. It'll be a brilliant end to it if he can make the World Cup and really represent his country at that level. That'll be fantastic for him because it's been such a hard year for him.
And there's quotes from him actually after the game that says, "As I said, I have strong images in my head all the time that I will play in the World Cup. All the time. When the heart speaks to you, you have to listen. As I said, I believe 100% that I'll be healthy for the World Cup. For me, it was never being about being healthy. It's about coming back stronger and faster and definitely smarter. Because for what I have worked these 10 months, I have put in 8-9 hours per day, every day without results. So I'll definitely be stronger. And it is up to me to solve the situation situation, so I come back in good form because I never want to be in a place where I cannot help on the pitch and be myself. Otherwise, I would rather not play. So I have a clear plan for how I'll come back. And then, with God's help, everything is always possible.
Good stuff.
He's convinced. Absolutely convinced. And there's one more, Bergvall just commenting on Decky saying, of course, the goal for him is to come back and to come back for the World Cup. He's a part of this 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that's Sweden. So congratulations to Sweden. Let's talk about Northern Ireland now, because a certain Northern Irish player got their first goal for their country, and that is Jamie Donley, who fired Northern Ireland 1-0 ahead in Wales, in Cardiff. And the game ended up being 1-1, but it's great to see. I mean, we were watching the Korea game at the time when I got the notification that Donley scored. I was so happy for him, man. Yeah,
brilliant. And he seems to be... things seem to be happening for him at the moment, back from injury after, getting injured in his first game for Oxford. He's now starting to play regularly for them, got a goal, and now on international duty, getting his first goal for Northern Ireland in Cardiff as well, in a big game on international level. So fair play to him. I hope he goes from strength to strength. There's so much excitement about the talent. We know when he was obviously in our youth academies, he was one of the ones people earmarked as one of the most talented. His spell at Leyton Orient showed what an amazing talent he is, and let's just hope he keeps going from strength to strength, and already getting goals at international level was a really good start for that as well.
But on the other hand, a bit of an upsetting debut for Tyrese Hall for Jamaica as they lost 1-0 to Congo. So that means that Tyrese Hall's World Cup dream is over. Look, it was, a month ago he probably thought there is no chance I'm ever didn't even come to his thinking, and then he gets called up for Jamaica, and then you're thinking, wow, I'm actually a game away here from World Cup, but unfortunately it wasn't to be.
Yeah, it's a shame.
England under-21s, though, smashed Moldova 4-1. Archie Gray playing 80 minutes, putting in a man-of-the-match display and a really nice goal as well in there for Archie. What a nice finish this was for Archie Gray.
Yeah, and he seems to be getting more and more goal contributions as the season's going on, and he seems to be taking more responsibility. Obviously, getting the start for the under-21s, getting man of the match. Absolutely brilliant for him, playing in midfield, it seems, and a really great goal. And the guy is really, I think, coming into his own at the moment. It feels, Archie Gray. He's really kind of I think he's progressing from a player who's doing well for his age to a player that actually is now becoming a bit more of an outstanding player, and that is really great to see. And we know the talent he has, and he's making more and more of an impact at Premier League level, and now he's getting goals at international level as well. It's brilliant. Yeah,
and it's great to see him get man the match when Ethan Nwaneri was playing, scored 2 goals. And Archie Gray, obviously, because it's so easy just to give a guy who scored 2 goals man the match, but it just shows you how strong Archie Gray's performance actually was.
Definitely.
And this England under-21 team, man, they've got some talent in there. They've got Dibbling, Nwaneri, Joe Bellingham, the captain, alongside Archie Gray, Lewis Skelly, Acheampong, Ashley Phillips started the game as well. Rico Lewis at right back. So they've got some serious talent in England under-21s.
Future looks bright, I think.
And last but not least, Croatia lost 3-1 to Brazil. Vuskovic completed 82 minutes in the game. Look, unfortunately, Vuskovic couldn't help his side, his country kind of beat the Brazilians, but what an unbelievable experience this international break has been for Vuskovic, starting both games for his country, Croatia, at the centre of a back three. Yeah, and obviously scoring his first goal as well, which was incredible. But did they score? Yeah, so the game was 1-1 when he went off. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they scored two late goals. So was Vuskovic holding it all together? He must have. Yeah, that's the question you got to be asking yourself. And there's been a lot of great quotes coming up about Vuskovic from a lot of players saying how ready he is, how brilliant he is, saying the football speaks for itself. You don't even have to praise him because you just have to watch him. That's it. And it's really, really great. He keeps getting impressive every stage, doesn't he? Yeah, Luka Modric said that he's played 2 very good matches, a great future ahead of him. He just needs to continue like this. Because look, at the end of the day, such a young player, it's easy to get ahead of yourself, isn't it? And, you know, he needs good people around him. He needs to keep his feet on the ground. He needs to stay on this track. And if he does stay on this track, this guy is going to be one of the best, literally.
Yeah, phenomenal.
So that is it. That is the international break. Now it is time to get back and focus on Tottenham. Still a while till Spurs play, but there are a few things to talk about in terms